Here's how to live the age 13 to 18 if you want to set yourself up for success. 99% of people, they waste their teen years. They live it like partying, giving into this high school degenerate BS, and they regret it afterwards. And even I'm seeing this with a lot of my peers. They're regretting the way they lived their high school years, and they're feeling this like almost regret and this like shameful feeling because they lived their years for fun, not discipline. So do not be like them. You need to set yourself up for success. This video will teach you exactly how to set up your high school years in order to become as successful as possible. For me, I'll give my personal story so you guys know, like, okay, I'm in a place where I can talk about this. I'm a senior in high school. I'm 17. I'm going fully online after this semester, so I have like 2 more weeks of real school, and I'm going fully online so I can just lock into my business, and I'll be fully ready to move out and live the life I want to live in the next 6 months when I graduate. So, what I've done so far is, here's my story. I started going to the gym freshman year. I was super locked in on the gym. I was super locked in on my diet. All I cared about was the gym. I was completely obsessed. So what happened is I started to do very poorly at school. I had bad grades. I failed a class that year, and I was just horrible at school. Then sophomore year, I kind of fell into degeneratism. I was like getting into that social loop. I was like hanging out with friends, going out every night, fapping, playing video games. I still went to the gym, but I ate horrible food. And that year, my grades were better, but my lifestyle was overall worse. Junior year, that is when I actually completely locked in with business. I started a reselling business. I hit my first 10K month. I started posting on social media. I took a trip to Miami. I started to actually create money, create like a dream life for myself my junior year. I locked in, no lust, no going out late, and I truly gave my all my junior year. Then this year, it took me 8 months to hit 1,000 followers on TikTok. So I had 1,000 followers in July. From July to today's date, December, I'm now at 120,000 followers. So I've grown my social media presence. I've built an app that helps the young men quit porn, which I'm going to probably scale that to at least 30K a month within these next few months, X to add $1 million. And I've completely conquered lust. I built a social media following. I've hit 10K a month off business, and I'm gonna get like my dream car soon. So I mean, I've really used my high school years in order to better myself. The one thing I want to talk about is sacrifice, though. It's weird, it's weird for me because my grades are genuinely horrible. Like, I'm barely graduating high school, and the reason for that is because I don't have any care for it. All I care about is like setting myself up for my future. So it's super hard for me, right? Because I'm making 10K a month. I'm scaling these businesses. I'm growing like my actual life. So it's like, why should I care about school when I'm building stuff that actually matters? So you have to understand sacrifice. You have to understand these things. So here's exactly how you should live your teen years. Firstly, do not fall into degeneratism. If you're in like 8th grade and you're going into high school, if you're in high school, you know how it is, right? You're going to get a lot of social pressure pushed upon you to live life a certain way, to embrace degeneratism, to, go out, to drink, hookup culture. It happens a lot in high school, right? And it will get pushed upon you most likely, like 2-mans, all this like weird degeneratism. You're also going to be put in this box where you have to kind of like fit in with other people, and you need to socialize. You need to fit into this certain social group, the social aspect to feel normal, to feel like. Understand, this will save you so much years if you're like in the beginning, like if you're like 13 to 15. Understand, none of these people matter. None of these people you're trying to get to like you, none of them matter. None of them are better than you either. One thing I had this weird mindset, especially my freshman year, where I thought people were better than me. And I had like insecurity. I had self-hatred because I thought these people were better than me because they acted more confident. So it was like this weird perverted like view I had. So you have to understand, these people are not better than you. Don't live your life trying to impress these people who don't care. Like, they don't matter. These people don't matter in your life. So spend this year, right? Spend it building yourself up. Get obsessed with something, whether it's the gym, whether it's something that improves your life. Because it's weird when you're gonna get in this journey, right? I recommend if you're like a freshman in between that age, you get super obsessed with the gym, with growing your physique, eating clean. Because what happens is when you build these habits early on, okay, eating clean, going to the gym, it translates into everything else. One thing is, when you're building a business at a super young age, like for me, I think I created my first business when I was 14. It was like a window washing business. What happens is you're not prepared for it, right? You don't have the mental IQ, the mental toughness to actually make that business successful. You haven't built the skills. So what happened is I was super obsessed with the gym. When I started doing the window cleaning business, I didn't have the discipline. I didn't have the consistency, the perseverance, the skills needed to make that business successful. So I was going door to door, knocking on windows, and the second I had one rejection, it hit me hard, and I eventually stopped doing that business, and I failed that business because I wasn't that man who I wasn't a man who was built for it. So understand, your first businesses, they're going to fail because you're becoming the man who can become successful. You're building these characteristics. That's why I think going to the gym, eating clean, building discipline at a young age is so important. It's so important for your growth. So if you're if you're in between 13 to 16, start going to the gym. If you haven't, you need to start. So start going to the gym, start being super locked in with your diet, build discipline, wake up at 5 a.m., go on morning runs, basic self-improvement tips. These will build the habits you need in order to become successful in the later years of high school. So, boom. Freshman, sophomore year, work on discipline, work on consistency. Now, when you become a junior, that's when your brain's kind of developed to a point where now you actually should have the skills that you need, that you were working on sophomore, freshman year, that you were actually building. You should be able to use these skills to your advantage. Junior year, start working on business. Obsess with business. What you're going to notice is you're going to have areas in life where you obsess over different things, right? At first, it might be the gym. Then you might stop caring about the gym. Now it's okay. I need to make money online. I need to become successful. One mindset thing you need to adapt and you need to truly understand is this is your life. If you don't become financially free, I see this pattern, bro. I've seen it my whole life since I was a freshman. Especially, I know how the pattern goes. I see it with everyone. What happens? They live high school, they have fun in high school, they get good grades, they have fun, they party, drink, get good grades, pass school, do well, go to college. They go to college, they're doing a frat, they have fun at college, party, drink, boom. After college, they get a decent job, they work the job, they become old, get married, skins, kids, boom, hate their lives, eventually probably get divorced, 50% of them, and then boom, they live a life they hate. And it's this same pattern that everyone falls into. You've been indoctrinized to follow this pattern. So you need to break the pattern. If you want to live an extraordinary life, you can't follow the masses. So understand, if you get caught in this loop, okay, because what's going to happen is, right, it's so weird how school is. In school, I feel like a failure sometimes because I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel embarrassed, right? But it's weird because school teaches you, okay, look, you get good grades, you pass the classes, you do well, they're going to treat you like you're successful when you're not even close to successful. So you're going to feel successful, but you're really just following the rat race. So I'm not going to sound like the cringe, but the rat race. Because true success is when you're financially free, when you're location free, when you're leaving an impact on this world. You getting good grades isn't you having freedom or achieving true impact in the world. So understand, don't ever think for a second that you're successful because you have good grades, right? Don't get indoctrinized, don't follow the system. So don't follow that trap of college, party, drugs, get a good job, get a good paying job. No, unless you're made for it. I was never made for it, okay? I've never once thought I could work a job. I worked a job my sophomore summer going into junior year, right? I worked at Chipotle. And boy, I never hated my life more. Every day when I knew I had work, I worked 3 times a week for 4 hours a day, right? Nothing crazy, right? I dreaded that day. And every time I was at that job, I felt so much frustration, so much anger, so much hatred because I was like, what am I doing? My coworkers, some of them are 40 years old, fat, just making burritos. I'm like, oh my God. What am I doing making burritos, wrapping burritos for these people? What am I doing with my life? And I had so much anger because I need to get out of this. And then eventually I stopped caring. I got fired from Chipotle. After that, I created my next business, reselling business, scaled that, 10K a month. Boom. But yeah, some people are built for jobs. You need people to work jobs. Some people aren't made for jobs. I think I have ADHD, so I truly cannot work a job. I have to work for myself. So I'm going to create my dream reality. It's all I want to do. You live one life, okay? You have one life, so use it to create greatness. It's so weird, we're all going to die. So, why would you live in this, weird self-indoctrination, weird, loophole? Do not fall for it. So, live your dream life. Live for yourself. Now, once you're, in your teen years, you want to make sure you're staying away from the bad habits. I mentioned that earlier. You want to really be careful of it, though. So many people will give into lust, will give into corn, they'll give into some other things I want to talk about. Speaking of lust and corn, a lot of young men, they're not going out and socializing with girls. High school is the time to do that. I wish I was better at it, right? But I wasn't the best with talking to girls, dating, stuff like that. I'm starting to get into it, but yeah. You want to make sure you're building those social skills so you know how to communicate with girls, so you know how to communicate with other people. So go take girls on dates. Don't be degenerate going out 2 minutes late at night. Take girls on dates. Learn how to speak to girls. Learn, practice, test, understand that, because that's going to be a skill you're going to need in life. So practice that. You start socializing with girls. Socializing is extremely important. You want to build good social habits because I'm telling you, Social skills are extremely important in the real world. Like when you're trying to socialize, my contact list, I've socialized with so many people. My mentor right now, he's worth $100 million. He's mentoring me because literally just because I was social with him and he liked the way I talk. I've met people at my gyms, people like some of the biggest traders, people who have Revoltos, multiple Lamborghinis. That materialistic stuff doesn't matter. I have a great network in my state of Colorado, out of the state, just because I was able to talk to these people in a way. So you want to make sure when you are socializing with these people, you're networking with people, you're not putting them on a pedestal, because you need to be socializing your teen years. But don't put them on a pedestal. Don't glaze them. You have to treat them in a way like you're on their level. That's the only way that they're going to talk to you back. And one way you can do this is, well, one thing, if you're in between 13 and 18, so many people have told me this and it's true. These older people who are successful, they want to mentor you. They want to help you. So just go out, talk to them, ask them for advice. And one way you want to ask them for advice is you want to almost boost their ego. So be like, yo, your content has really helped me. You're an extremely successful person, so I have a question, right? You build up their ego. Now they're going to be much more open to actually answering their question because you complimented them. So start building these connections. Start networking with these people. Networking is extremely key. Then, now you should be going to the gym, eating clean, working on it, building a business, giving your all to a business, not giving it to degeneracy, setting yourself for your future. So just start doing that. Understand you have to start setting yourself up for greatness and to be this successful person, right? Here, let me get a quick thumbnail. Don't mind that, but yeah. Start setting yourself up for success. So many people, they waste their life. So start following that system I implemented. Implement those tips. And I promise you, by the time you're at the position I am, your entire life will look amazing. You'll have your dream life, all that. So yeah, that is how to live the age 13 to 18 if you want to become successful.